Ladies and gents, welcome back to the Settling YouTube channel, and it's a big one today. It is the first look at my team on F1 at 22. As always, a big thank you to EA for allowing me to have a copy of this game early and bringing this to you ahead of the launch. But without further ado, we're going to dive straight in to the setup of my team and the first new feature of choose entry points. So now you can choose from 3 different entry points when you start your my team: a newcomer, a midfield challenger, or a championship contender. Now what this does, it affects the amount of money that you start with on the game. It affects your team acclaim at the start with regards to sponsors and how many big sponsors you can attract and the finances that come with that, as well as the already developed facilities. So I personally want to start from the bottom, so I'm going to go straight into new challenges. So no money, no facility upgrades, no team acclaim. We're going to dive straight in and go for the hardest option possible. Now, I am going to do a full race calendar, but I just wanted to show you the options. Again, very similar to last year. You can do 22, 16 or 10, but of course, the tracks available to you are slightly different this year. So the new tracks such as Miami already in there, and then obviously we've got the likes of China that aren't in there as an option this year. But there is all the options. We dive in straight with the 22. Obviously, the My Team icons are back in again for this year, as they were last year. I think there is a few different ones. I'm not entirely sure who they are. I'm going to put them in there as an option, but obviously we're not going to have one to start season 1. I say you're all familiar with this screen, but just in case you're not, we'll take a look.
First things first, let's create your driver.
So we'll dive in straight away. Now, I don't think any of the driver faces have actually changed for F1 at 22. I think they are all the same as they were last year. So again, nothing really to go through here. So I was just scrolling through just to see if there was any new ones, but I don't think there was. Obviously, correct me in the comments if I am wrong, but I think this was the same as last year. So we'll select our driver and then get straight in to the look. And again, most of this hasn't really changed. Obviously, what will change this year is a lot of the cosmetics in the design. So obviously to start, you're very limited. So we've only got 5 different helmet designs here, and that's the same throughout all of them. Now, a feature that I've been crying out for some time on F1 is the ability to copy color. For those of you that are into your My Teams and into your making sure you've got the same exact color code for each one, you can now copy the colors. So if you've got a specific yellow, which we have, and you want to replicate that across your car, your helmet, your gloves, etc., you can now do that. And as you can see, by just pressing triangle, it will copy the color to the bottom, so that when you go forward to change your race suit, you can easily just select the same color. So we've done the helmet, we'll go across to the race suit now, we'll pick our design. Again, very limited at this time as to what we can and can't do, but you dive into that, and as you'll see at the bottom, the colors that we copied from the previous one are now there. So we can just select the yellow, therefore it matches the helmet, and it just speeds up the whole process. And again, this was the thing that I moaned about quite a lot last year, about having to constantly write down what the hue, the saturation, and luminance was for specific colors. But now we no longer have to do that, which is a big tick in the box. So, you know, sometimes it's not the biggest changes that make the biggest impact, but for me, this is one that is a big improvement. Now, obviously, we don't know what the first podium pass looks like yet. I guess when the podium pass first came out last year, I was quite excited, and it had loads of like cool different designs. And as the year went on, they got a little bit stale, a little bit samey. It's a little bit of a shame that there isn't a little bit more customization with this. We see it on so many other games where you can literally add absolutely everything. We're not quite at that stage yet, but hopefully the podium pass will be improved and will stay at a good level throughout the year. Obviously, there are some slightly different celebrations here and a video royce there, and this cool here I'm not so sure about. We're going with it though.
Nice, it's very nice.
Again, they're a little bit cringy, they're a nice touch. I do think with the radio calls that they could be again a little bit more realistic in how they would be in real life, but we won't let that get in the way of it. But we go straight into the team details and the team now. We are going for TSI Racing, of course, the Settling Racing. So rather than going for the full up, we're going to abbreviate it. TSI Racing has a nice ring to it, so that is what we are going to be running for our My Team on YouTube this year. Again, none of this has really changed. I'm not sure whether there is new sponsors. I recognise all of these from last year. So obviously the gold bonus, the weekly income, the signing bonus, all of that is the same as it were. Obviously the more acclaim you've got throughout the season, the better sponsors you can get. So I think we end up going with Echo here. So as a team achieve 2-point finishes during the season, I think that's fairly realistic in the first season of My Team, and one that we should be able to achieve, meaning that gold bonus will be coming our way at the end of the season. The weekly income as well, kind of middle of the road. It's nothing special. Now we go for our powertrain, and obviously there is a new powertrain on the grid this year, with Honda officially leaving and Red Bull taking over that. So we have the options of Renault, E-Tech, Red Bull powertrains, Mercedes and Ferrari. Now when it comes to the performance of this, I'm not quite sure whether this will be updated before. Obviously it's still got Mercedes as being the second best engine on the grid. Whether that is the case and whether Red Bull will get a buff, I'm not too sure. Obviously you can see Red Bull actually have the worst durability, and to be fair, that's probably reflected in real life for the opening few races of the 2022 season. So I don't know whether that will be changed before the start of the season or not, but we are going to go for the Red Bull powertrain as something new. That is the engine and the powertrain that we will be teaming up with for TSI Racing. And again, as with last year, you can pick your other driver, and on the option here, you've got all the different various things, and I'm going to let our man take you through here for those that aren't maybe familiar with the ratings.
The more acclaim they will earn for their current team. And remember, the faster the team levels up, the faster our income will increase. The higher a driver's experience, the more resource points are earned to spend on vehicle upgrades. Racecraft is the driver's skill to effectively complete overtakes when opportunities arise. Awareness shows the driver's ability to avoid errors and incidents. Pace describes the driver's ability to set competitive lap times. Focus represents the driver's current form and state of mind. Rating is a summary of the driver's overall skill level.
So there you go, nothing different from last year. So we've got the options of Piastri, Drogovic, Liam Lawson, Jack Aitken, Marino Sato, Roy Nissany and Enzo Fittipaldi. Obviously, say nothing here has really changed, but we are going to go for Oscar Piastri. He is the highest rated option, and as we went for a slightly cheaper power unit, we've got more than enough money to make this work. So there is our team. TSI Racing, Echo is our main sponsor, Red Bull Powertrain, Oscar Piastri will be our driver for Season 1 of F1 22. Now, the livery here, I won't lie, I created the livery, and the livery does change because I've already recorded the first episode of the Bahrain Grand Prix, so the livery will change, but this just shows you the different liveries that are on option. Again, very limited to what you do and don't have at the minute. The interesting one, they do have this next one here, which is kind of the Golf McLaren livery, which I quite like, but they say very limited at the minute. Obviously, the podium pass will come out on day one of launch of the game, so there'll be a few more options that come out. And again, there's only one slight difference with the liveries this year, and it's the effect of the paint. I think you can now have satin, gloss, metallic, and something else as well. So there's 4 different options. That's the only thing that's actually changed. And again, for me, a little bit disappointing that you can't do a little bit more with the liveries and that the editor isn't a little bit better. Obviously, we've seen on the mobile game that the editor for the liveries is actually pretty good, so it's a little bit disappointing that we don't have that. But again, for those of us that are on PC, there is the ability to use mods and add in our own liveries. It's a lot of faff, it's a lot of effort, but it's a shame that there isn't something for the console players as well, and for the PC players that don't want to do that, to allow us to have a bit of a better car. But that is the look of the car that we will go with, or at least for this episode, but it will change. So nothing else, the yellow being the dominant colour, yellow and black are race colours, and we'll go and pick the logo. And again, nothing I don't think has changed here. I'm not even sure any of the emblems have changed here, but you could argue that this is probably one of the least important bits of the game. So while we're doing this, one thing I just want to say to you guys, my team will be happening over on the YouTube channel this year, but if you do have a Twitch account and you do enjoy watching live streams, then over on my Twitch channel we will be doing 2 co-op careers this year, as well as a driver career mode starting in F2. So make sure you drop a link down to the Twitch channel if you haven't already, and make sure you go and drop us a follow over there for all things F1 22 related going forward. But yeah, exclusively on the YouTube series will be my team for F1 22 and TSI Racing. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this develops over time and the journey that we can go on with you guys. Obviously, in the past we have started little series here and there and never quite got through, but I'm determined to keep this series going for the whole life cycle of this game. I know in the past you guys have enjoyed the My Team stuff, so we will make a best effort to ensure that I get as many episodes out for you guys as soon as possible. And I can tell you that episode 1 of the Bahrain Grand Prix will be coming very, very shortly following this video, so it's something to look out for coming soon. The only slight bug I had here was that the colours that I had used for the livery and stuff hadn't copied over, so I had to try and guess the yellow because I couldn't go back to change what the race it was. So a slight bug there that we can report back, but apart from that we are good to go. And there is TSI Racing born ready to hit the circuit. And that is how we will look for the first race of the 2022 season. And I can't wait to get this started. And you'll be delighted to know that this feature is back, and I'm not going to spoil it for you. I know how much you guys love with this Will Buxton stuff, so I'm going to sit back and let you enjoy Will Buxton.
Hello folks, and welcome to this, a very special edition of Paddock Pass. We're here at the headquarters of Formula One's newest team for an exclusive first look at what they will be bringing to the sport. It's always an exciting moment to welcome a new team onto the grid. However, what makes this occasion a little more special is how strikingly different the cars are this year. Yep, the long-awaited new regulations are finally here, and with them, the start of the next era of Formula One. The 2022 season ushers in a change of direction to the regulations aimed at promoting closer racing, with new aero additions in the form of swooping front and rear wings, along with the new eye-catching 18-inch low-profile tyres that will push tyre technology to the limit. So then, the question remains as to whether this team can grasp the opportunity before them with both hands and lead the charge against the rest of the paddock. We'll find out soon enough, as the new season is just about to begin. But first, let's see the unveiling of the team's car and meet the owner of the brand new Formula One team. Well, first of all, thanks so much for inviting us here today. It's been wonderful to see behind the scenes. As you might expect, I've got about 1 million questions, so let's jump straight in. It's been a long time since we last saw a team owner take their own car onto the track, and the sport's changed enormously in the intervening years. How are you going to handle the responsibilities of both managing and driving for a Formula One team? Let's talk about your teammate. Now, it's clear they're excited to have signed with you, but tell me, what is it that you think they bring to the team? So you've obviously been putting a lot of work into the car. I know it's early days, but how do you expect it to feel out there? Most of the other teams can boast years of experience in Formula One. Where do you see the opportunities to make those vital performance gains you need to put you within reach of the other cars? Ultimately, your success this season is going to come down to whether you can take positions from the other drivers. What is it about your car that's going to give you that edge in those battles? And finally, with so many specialist departments working together here at your headquarters, and with such an important deadline coming up, who's getting that coveted Teacher's Gold Star? Which group do you feel the most proud of right now? Well, thank you so much for your time. It's been wonderful to get an insight from you, and of course to see around the headquarters. Thank you for today. Really appreciate it, and thank you all at home for watching as well. We'll see you very soon.
It's important to use the time
Again,
between
nothing has
races.
changed there. Will Buxton still floating in the wind of the TSI Racing headquarters. Now, again, I just wanted to show you the home screen here. Again, nothing here has really changed too much. All the standard stuff you would expect to see from my team. And again, I feel like I've kind of said that a lot, that not much has changed, but I enjoyed my team so much last year that I guess it's that case of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Again, it would have been nice for a little bit more customization, but the essence of my team remains, and it's still going to be an enjoyable platform. And say here again, same as last year, although we have gone for no money, we don't start as the worst car on the grid. McLaren and Aston Martin and Williams are actually the teams below us, so it's going to be interesting to see if that is replicated on track. I'm expecting McLaren to be a little bit stronger than that, and again, I don't know whether that will be slightly tweaked and changed ahead of the start of the season to reflect the IRL performances, but I would expect that to happen. But that is going to be us, guys. That is the first look at my team for 2022. I will be back very shortly with the Bahrain Grand Prix, but otherwise, stay safe, don't fly win, and as always, up the Brewers.